This is the CBS Sunday Night News. Bill Plant reporting. Good evening. Key Democrats said today that there is a good chance compromises can be worked out, which will allow them to support President Clinton's economic plan. Coming on the heels of last week's debacle at the White House, that was a ray of light for the Clinton administration. Jim Stewart reports.
After what may have been his roughest week thus far, President Clinton finally got a glimmer of some good news. Key opponents now say if the president scales back a controversial energy tax, then maybe, just maybe, his whole economic plan will win Senate approval.
I'm feeling very, very good about all the actions that the president's taken in the last 72 hours. And let me say that on some, I think that they improved the chances by about 100% that we're going to be able to work out an agreement.
Trimming the proposed energy tax would ease the burden on some industries. Republicans say it doesn't matter.
It's not just the energy tax, it's the whole package, which is $6.25 in taxes for every dollar in spending cuts. It's hard to sell.
But for conservative Democrats in the Senate, the kind Mr. Clinton must have if he is to win, the compromise was essential.
I said all along I wanted to help the president. Hopefully people like me and others have given him the room to get back into the center, to be the new kind of Democrat that he was elected to be.
That may sound like damning with faint praise from a member of his own party, but the way things have been going around here for Mr. Clinton lately, he'll take it and be grateful. Jim Stewart, CBS News, the White House.
President Clinton plans to take part in the Memorial Day ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery tomorrow, as presidents usually do. But Mr. Clinton, who actively opposed the war in Vietnam, also plans to speak at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. And that has sparked a controversy.
The Vietnam War continues to plague our nation. There's still anger and bitterness. And the fact that our president is reaching out to honor Vietnam veterans, even though he did not serve there himself, is a positive thing.
Thousands of Vietnam vets who disagree have sent postcards protesting the president's visit to the wall. And some have threatened protests if he does appear.
Basically, this is sacred territory. It's very special to a lot of vets. His coming does not help his cause.
I feel as the commander-in-chief, he should have at least served a tour in any sort of armed forces that there were in the United States.
But most Americans don't feel that way. In a CBS News poll conducted over the past few days, 3/4 of all those surveyed say it's appropriate for the president to participate in Memorial Day observances at the wall. Among veterans, the figure is almost as high, still well over 2/3.
Let's give him a chance, at least give him a chance to give us a good speech. Once we see what he has to say, maybe then's the time to make your judgment.
President Clinton also says he can't run away from a letter he wrote criticizing U.S. policy in the Vietnam War back when he was a 23-year-old student. In an interview with the Washington Times yesterday, Mr. Clinton said that even though he believed that the policy was wrong, he still always thought those who fought the war were good people. Still ahead on the CBS Sunday Night News, the baffling disease that's taking lives on the Navajo reservation.
Whether this is being spread from one person to another or whether they have some other exposure in common.
The findings in the lung could be also a reaction to a toxin that is being produced in the body, either by a toxin that has been exposed or a toxin that has been produced by a microorganism.
Some 36 health specialists, including from the Centers for Disease Control, have joined in the medical hunt for the culprit. They're looking at common threads among the victims. All the confirmed cases are clustered on or near the sprawling Navajo reservation in Arizona and New Mexico. 19 victims have been Native Americans. Investigators fear they could discover more cases before they discover what's causing the mysterious disease. Linda Tyrus, CBS News, New York.
Some of the heaviest fighting in the 14-month-old civil war raged today across Bosnia. 20 people were killed, more than 170 injured in Sarajevo alone. Barry Peterson reports.
Sarajevo got a wake-up call Sunday at dawn. It was hard to miss. UN troops, who were supposed to be patrolling the area as a safe haven, dove for their bunkers, as did virtually everyone else. The fighting was said to be the worst in months, and while it appeared the Serb gunners were targeting Muslim neighborhoods, The head of the Bosnian Serbs said his side did not shoot first.
But Muslims are launching very wide offensive, accusing the Serbs for this offensive.
Elsewhere, it was Serbs on the move, chased out of Muslim areas in Bosnia. The UN moved them into Serb-held territory and established yet another instant refugee camp. In eastern Bosnia, there were reports of more fighting between Muslims and Serbs. In central Bosnia, it was Muslims fighting Croats. The only unifying theme to this confusing day was the fighting and the dying. Barry Peterson, CBS News, London.
Wait for the people of South Florida, the June 1st official start of the 1993 Atlantic hurricane season. Juan Vasquez reports.
Are you hurricane victims? No.
At Redondo Elementary School, the children who lived through Hurricane Andrew study reading, writing, arithmetic, and getting ready for the next big one.
I've been trying to empower my kids and staff so they do not finish the school year as victims, okay, but as survivors.
But beneath the brave smiles, the emotional aftershock lingers. A 9-year-old boy breaks into tears at the mere mention of the impending hurricane season. And if he's not ready for it, neither is most of South Florida. 9 months after Hurricane Andrew blew through Homestead, 1 out of every 3 homes and buildings remains so badly damaged it can't be used. Because of the storm, 20% of the people who lived here have fled, probably never to return.
It's very scary, very. I'm very depressed, you know.
Rosa Romero is one of those who didn't run away, but she's been forced to live in a trailer in her backyard and in a house still under repair. For now, only baseball offers escape for children and parents.
It takes our minds off the drudgery of trying to recoup from the storm and rebuild our lives.
But rebuilding takes time. Just when they thought the worst was over, there are warning signs everywhere that a new hurricane season is upon them. Juan Vasquez, CBS News, Homestead.
Well, it took the 50th anniversary of World War II's Battle of the Atlantic to bring Britain's Charles and Diana back together today, if only briefly. The separated prince and princess appeared side by side at church to honor the Allied victory in the fight against German U-boats.
To those who still believe that only expensive luxury cars should offer standard anti-lock brakes, a driver's side airbag, and sophisticated engine technology, we think your
500 auto race was as close as you can get. For the second time in 5 years, the checkered flag was waved for Brazilian Emerson Fittipaldi. But it wasn't easy. Less than 10 seconds separated the first 8 finishers. It's not exactly the ear-splitting roar of Indy cars, but a mysterious drone that many in northern New Mexico say is making their lives unbearable. Scott Pelley went to investigate.
In the solitude of northern New Mexico, Bob and Catania Salzman say an unearthly noise is ruining paradise.
Do you hear it right now?
Yes.
It's called the sound. Most people can't hear it, but there is growing evidence that hundreds in northern New Mexico are sensitive to the ultra-low frequency.
They feel they can't stand it anymore. Some of them have talked about selling their houses. They've left the area.
James Garner researched the sound and came up with this highly amplified recording. Sonic suspects have included power lines, airplanes, even movements within the earth. But now, some believe it's a secret military project at one of the nearby federal labs.
I know this sounds absurd to someone who's not hearing it. I'm aware of that, but nevertheless, there are thousands of people who are having this experience.
The study of this phenomenon should be completed by the end of summer. Then, maybe, those who are suffering will finally know what's raising the racket in the Rockies. Scott Pelley, CBS News, in northern New Mexico.
We leave you tonight with a sampling of tonight's televised National Memorial Day concert on the Mall in Washington. Thousands gathered to sing America the Beautiful, led by Judy Collins with the Boys Choir of Harlem. That's the CBS Sunday Night News. Tomorrow on CBS This Morning, Memorial Day on board the carrier John F. Kennedy. I'm Bill Plant in New York. Good night, have a good holiday, and a good week.